When I got banned on YouTube, it was the same thing. Yeah, I just got hit with like a bunch of warnings at once. I got hit with a bunch of strikes all at once. They started taking on all these videos, and then it was just gone.
These companies have favorites. And if you're not a favorite, you're out. Either by something that you did that is kind of a gray area, or they may say, this person I don't like at all. Just ban him for this, this, and this, and make it very vague. And that's it. That's all it takes. Someone not to like you, it's your tweets, it's your content, and then say, get him out of here. So it works, bro. Their platform. So.
Do you think you said something we don't know?
Huh?
We know this.
No, you don't. You went on got banned.
Okay. That was 2 years ago.
He said, no, you don't. I agree with Fresh 100%. And especially I like that little quip that he just did. He's like, Sneako was like, hey, you think you telling us something we don't know? He's like, clearly you don't know, nigga, because you still keep banning. Like, clearly you still don't know, you dumbass nigga. And like, I'm started, like, I think Fresh is dissing himself from all of the fuckery that the red pill, or at least these ideologues, these red pill figures that grew up, and I mean, not grew up, blew up off this type of content, this style of content. Mm-hmm. Fresh was always kind of like the jester. Like he was kind of like the tag along. He didn't really add a lot of substance. Like you said, he was more of a comic relief. And I think now he's like trying to separate himself and create his own identity. Like a lot of people starting to acknowledge like Fresh actually has common sense when he's actually arguing against everything that he came up off of. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I'm noticing he's starting to do that a lot more often. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what triggered him, but shit, the money seemed to be working.
The money triggered him. I'm not gonna lie. That nigga saw less money in his accounts. Like, nigga, we need to stop. And the thing is, like, I feel like he's trying, like, because the thing is, I feel like he doesn't want to abandon the brand because the brand is already huge. I think he wants to repurpose the brand.
Right.
But it's kind of hard to get the other half, you know what I'm saying, to repurpose. And the thing is, like, this is no fault of his own. I feel like Fresh understands, like, hey, I'm not the person who comes up with the content ideas or the schedules or anything like that. Like, he understands, like, that's not his thing. But networking is his thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But, like, he knows that he can't do it on his own. Or maybe he can. Maybe he just needs to try. I don't know. But he's like, hey, you know what I'm saying? If I try to go and do it on my own, it's probably not going to be as strong. I'm just a very good networker. And so he's trying to get the person that does, you know what I'm saying, like all the technical stuff to turn ship with him. But like right now they're pulling in two different directions because he's like, hey, we could probably rebrand and get back on YouTube and start, you know what I'm saying, maybe do the same content, but in a watered down version that's, you know what I'm saying, more digestible for YouTube and for the general audience. That's not going to get us banned and mass reported and all that stuff. Exactly. And Marvin's like, no. We need to be like this. You know what I'm saying? Because they're just going to ban us anyway. He's like, nigga, no, they're not. Exactly. Like, there's plenty of red pill people on the platform still that, you know what I'm saying? All they do is talk about men and women and relationships and stuff like that, but they don't do it in a way that's so inflammatory.
So when I was speaking about it, I knew what the risk I was taking.
But then if you knew that, then that was dumb.
What you're saying, like you keep saying as if we don't know that there's favoritism on social media. Everybody knows this, but some people are going to tell the truth regardless. And if you don't have those people, the truth never gets out there.
Well, guess what? When you're banned, your voice, what does it do to your voice?
You're saying things that are so obvious that we know it gets suppressed and you have to go to different platforms, but the platforms are still there.
But the thing is, you know this and you still did it.
Yes.
Okay.
So what are you saying?
Some people might not know this that are making content.
Everybody knows.
No, they don't. I just think that people need to hear what's happening behind the scenes. And if they don't hear it, then they make content. Oh, I'm going to do what these guys do.
Right.
But there's risk involved with it.
You're changing your point. You're saying that we shouldn't tell the truth so that we cannot get, we don't get censored. What I'm
saying is, if you end up making content that's not what they want you to say,
they will ban you. We know this, right? But some people have to do that regardless.
No, they don't. You know, people want to make RP content, right? They want to become RP content creators, and they say, "Oh, Myron Fresh, how do I do it?" And we're like, "Yo, just so you know this, when you go into it, you may lose money, you may lose your channel, you may lose friends, and maybe even, you know, your girl." And they say, "You know what? I'm good. I don't want to do it no more." But they didn't know this coming into it. So I'm saying to the public, just so you understand, you follow this pattern, you follow this path, it can happen to you. What's wrong with that?
Okay, but you're saying it to me as if like I didn't know this before. You're like,
No, he's not. He's saying it for the general audience. Like,
No,
there's
so
young people who want to do content. Like they'll watch Fresh and Fit, and they'll be like, okay, I want to be a part of this rage-based content. In case maybe I can see how lucrative it can be, and I'm under this ideological tent where I want to be a part of this. There's people in Sneako's server who think similarly to Sneako, and Fresh and Fit and whatnot. Let's say one of these individuals wanted to create content. You know what I'm saying? They're young, they're impressionable. They don't know the actual consequences of doing something like this. When you dive headfirst into an ideology, you dive first into communism, you dive first into fascism, you dive first into capitalism, you dive first into anything, and you make that part of your identity, you're going to ostracize yourself from other people. You're gonna put yourself at risk of not making any sort of money if you go too far and you violate guidelines and stuff like that. This is pretty much what Fresh is trying to say. You know what I mean? He's not saying it to Sneako in the sense that you don't know Sneako. He's saying that like there's people who consume the content who don't understand the full consequences of what comes with this. Because Fresh is like, bro, this is a bullshit. Like he's like, bro, if I could, I'm pretty sure Fresh is saying like, bro, if I could go back and tell this nigga Myron not to put on the KK outfit, I would.
Fresh is right. Even when he's saying it to Sneako, because Sneako knows now, but Sneako did not know when he first started doing the content. Because you got to remember, when Sneako first started making content, all he was doing was interviewing people in New York. You know what I'm saying? Where he would just ask them questions, have a regular conversation with them and stuff like that. Yeah. He wasn't saying any of this stuff that he says now. Obviously, like the egregious stuff, like, you know what I'm saying, stuff that's illegal, like murder and all that stuff. Yeah, that'll get you banned. You know what I'm saying? But nobody knew like what words would get you banned off of YouTube. And then when stuff started actually started getting people banned, it's kind of like in retrospect, like we look back and we're like, oh, okay, yeah, you know what I'm saying, like we know that gets you banned now, but we didn't know that got you banned at the point. Like, exactly. Talk about the election. You know what I'm saying? People talk politics and elections all the time, but around the 2020 election and stuff like that, when, you know what I'm saying, all that stuff was going on where people were like, hey, the election is stolen and stuff like that. If you started talking out about it, it got you banned. But the thing is, they had those same conversations beforehand. I think around like 2008, didn't get banned.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? About the COVID vaccine. People didn't know talk about the vaccine will get you banned, but people have been talking about, I've seen this on YouTube beforehand. People have been talking about vaccines for fucking years. All types of different vaccines. They've been talking about this shit for years. Talking about it causes autism and all types of other stuff. I don't know. I haven't done the research, but I know that they've been talking about vaccines for years and the efficacy and like if it's really safe. They've been talking about that shit for years. So when the COVID vaccine became the topic, people did not know that they would get banned for talking about it. It's only after people started getting banned that they knew like, hey, like maybe we shouldn't talk about this, or we shouldn't talk about it on this platform because we're getting banned. So that's why I feel like Fresh has like a great point where he's like, hey, Sneako, you didn't know this, because if you did know it, one, you wouldn't have gotten banned. And two, it's not that you wouldn't have spoken on it. You would have spoken on it in a way that did not get you banned. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's not that you're not going to say the truth and you're going to go out here and lie to people. Is that you're going to say the truth in a way that's not inflammatory, that gets your channel banned. Because the thing is, YouTube isn't just actively looking for people to ban. They're looking for the people that get flagged all the time. So if people are mass reporting your channel, now they got to start looking into it and be like, well, you know what I'm saying? Like the people don't like it, so let's take it off the channel.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So like he didn't know. But when he started being very inflammatory about it, that's when people like actually started looking at his channel. It's not like YouTube looked at Sneako and was just like, something about that nigga's face that I just don't want this nigga on the platform. Like, no, like they don't know you, nigga. You're bringing in money. They want to keep you. You're bringing in views. They want to keep you.
Exactly.
But they know that because you're so inflammatory and all that stuff, you're a brand risk. You know what I'm saying? Like you're talking about, you know what I'm saying? The Nazis should have killed all the Jews and stuff like that. And I got advertisers that are Jewish that want to buy ads on my platform. How the fuck am I going to play a motherfucking a Bank of America, a Chase ad on top of a video that says, hey, kill all the Jews? What the fuck? Because them same advertisers are going to come back and be like, oh, no. Hey, look, I seen this shit. We're not advertising on your platform no more. And I'm losing millions.
Should know so that they can make a choice.
Okay, most of these people are not going to be content creators.
How do you know?
Okay.
You don't know who's watching.
The bigger point is that no matter what happens, tell the truth. Do not let these people hold your balls and let you and decide what you believe is true and what's not as true.
Who are these people?
Okay, Fresh. We know the people that run the platforms.
See, this is why I differ from your opinion and your thoughts, because I think everyone should make a choice. It doesn't have to be always go down this path and be a martyr. I think you can choose.
You don't have to be a martyr.
No, but you're saying
I'm not saying you
tell
have
the
to do
truth
that
at all costs and ruin things for yourself.
Some
and your
people need
family.
to do that.
Yeah, but not everyone.
Okay, so you
I'm
don't have
making
to.
an argument for people that don't want to do this shit.
Okay,
Is that okay?
Then if you guys don't want to tell the truth, that's okay.
That's
but
fine. Yeah.
I'm saying you're shaming it in a way.
I'm telling the truth.
That's fine.
Yeah, but your rhetoric is that you're shaming it away. Like, you should have done this. Or you could have made more money. You could have had Twitter. You could have had Snapchat. You could have had YouTube. Whatever. You lose it, and then you still do it anyway. You still succeed regardless.
And that's good for you.
Oh, so then why do you keep bringing it up as if it's something that I made a mistake?
Well, what do you think?
I just told you what I think 4 times in a row. I don't think I made a mistake. I think I did the right thing.
I think you made a mistake.
Okay. do you hear him looping?
Listen, no.
He said, you think I fucked up? I think you fucked up.
To be fair, I also think Sneako fucked up. Like
I think he fucked up. He could have been huge, bro. If he would have stayed on that trajectory that he's doing. Like that not inflammatory content where he was just trying to get political and stuff like that, but the more so like, because he was like so many other YouTubers loved his content and they supported him, and he could have been working with Mr. Beast. He said he was doing an intern for Mr. Beast, and like he's just had so much potential, and he still does like that videography type of content that he does he does it on Rumble, I think, but it's not the same anymore because it's still. It's so like politically heavy-handed. I think he should have done. I think he had the potential to be a video journalist. Like if his content stayed journalistic instead of like ideological, he would have went so far because he would have been alternative media or independent media, and it's just where he, like you said, he was exposing these different things, these different worldviews, and people would have followed his journey, and then he could have built off that. He could have built like a company. He could have did so many different things, stayed neutral, made money, and still participated and engaged in the types of things that he loved, which is like understanding people and stuff like that. But he just fell so far off the deep end where he just got like just engulfed, and he got engulfed in red pill. He got engulfed in Islam. And it's not saying Islam is like an ideology, case may be, but it's more so like he became too far engaged into the content instead of doing what he did best, which is journaling the content. You know what I'm saying? Like he went and he just like did these exposés with people, and it was just so interesting to watch from just a regular guys. Like he was no different from me and you at one point. Just a regular guy going out. He wasn't afraid to talk to people, get their opinions and stuff like that. He would just talk about the content, but he wouldn't take a stance.
So then how is that a mistake if I did what I want to do and I'm happy with the decisions and I told the truth? What did I ask you before the show? I asked you if you could go back in time and think about what happened if you didn't do or get banned on YouTube. And what did I answer you off the show? Okay, that's changed from when I asked you back in the day. Before, you're like, fuck, I wish I didn't get banned on YouTube. It's difficult, of course. But that's what I'm saying. Some people don't want to lose their channel or lose their livelihood. And God for sake. Then you guys can go twerk and do OnlyFans content and then just like run around on Twitch and like then do that. Okay, so you could decide, do you want to make more money and then not tell the truth and not have convictions, or do you want to tell the truth regardless and make a difference in the world? If you want to make more money and run around with celebrities and sell your soul, that's fine. It's really a choice of, do you want to sell your soul or not? I would rather tell the truth. My soul is not for sale. And that's okay. If you want to sell it, okay. But that's not you should not say it's a mistake to have conviction. Then I asked you a little later on, do you regret doing this? You said no. But you did say, wish it didn't happen because things would be different. You'd probably be further ahead. Okay, so you just proved my point. Huh? You just proved my point. I never regretted the decisions I made. No. You said verbally you didn't regret it, but I could see it. You did. I'm saying some people need to do it. No, that's fine. Then do not call the people that do it. Do not shame them and say you made a mistake. I didn't shame them. I shamed you. I'm in that category. Don't say that I made a mistake because I never.
That's fair. I like that. He's staying consistent, but he's right though. Like, okay, so he said he asked Sneako, "Do you regret?" and he said Sneako verbally said no. But immediately after, he said, "I wish I didn't do that." That is regret, like by definition.
Yeah.
That's expressing regret, nigga. What the fuck?
See, and the thing is, like, look, he's like, yeah, I said verbally that I didn't regret it. Nigga, when you fuck up, you could say whatever the fuck you want to, but you show it through your actions like, damn, I feel like I really fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? If I break up with my girl, they be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? You all right? Yeah, I'm good. I don't even need that bitch. You know what I'm saying? On the inside, I'm probably like, man, fuck. I miss her.
That bitch like Usher, nigga.
Gotta let it burn. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
God.
and that's the thing. Like that's why, like, I believe him when he says, like, yeah, I physically saw you regretting, because you could say whatever you want to in that situation, just trying to act hard, act tough in front of people. Yeah. But like your actual demeanor could be like, oh fuck, like shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like losing your job, nigga. Like, yeah, like what am I gonna do tomorrow? You know what I'm saying? Like, this
exactly.
I got bills. Like, shit.
Exactly. And I feel like Fresh is being like sympathetic too. He was like, it's understandable. Like if you got demonetized, or if you lost your job, anyone would be upset. We saying that, but I'm also saying like, let's not pretend like you didn't regret it, nigga. I saw you crying and not coming out your nose, nigga. You was
You and I both know, if you didn't get banned on YouTube, where you be today?
It probably running around with OnlyFans whores in LA.
No.
Is that what the life that you want people to live?
You're putting in a content because you want to make it look bad.
That's what I would be doing. That's if I was a mainstream YouTuber, I would be making nonsense content, selling a lie, not telling the truth. Some people need to do it. If I had stayed on YouTube, would I have made more money? Maybe. Would I be like have more industry connection? Would I be at a Diddy party and a Mike Rubin party? Maybe. But is that worth trading for what I have now? No. And like you said earlier, the most important thing is a connection to God. That's something that I've been able to find. If I still had all the mainstream connections and I still was like doing the dance that they want you to dance to, would I have a connection with God? Maybe not.
I get where Fresh is coming from, because he's like, hey, why are you equating all this bad stuff to being on YouTube when that's not really, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not the only content that's on YouTube, because there's a lot of people that are on YouTube, like family channels and stuff like that, where they're super religious. People watch that. He's equating like all YouTube content to, you know what I'm saying, like they're walking around being degenerate and stuff like that. Bro, there's like a lot of religious channels that they make content, and you know what I'm saying? And even if you didn't want to make a religious channel, you making content doesn't stop you from having a relationship with God. You know what I'm saying? There's like a lot of people that are Christian in their private life, and they don't put that stuff out there. You know, like you don't have to be like, hey, it's me, Sneako, the Muslim, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not eating bacon, you know, like you don't got to do that. And the thing is, like, you're saying that you're making this connection with God. You're still walking around with OnlyFans model. Like you're still doing it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not a mainstream YouTuber and you're still doing it. So it's like, you're kind of being disingenuous here. Like, very disingenuous.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Sneako lost me as soon as he said, if I would be on YouTube, I would probably be at a Diddy or a Mike Rubin party. I'm like, yeah, you lost it. You lost it.
Because what does that have to do with YouTube? Nigga, like,
they got
you
nothing
just
to do
be
with
there.
YouTube. Exactly.
As I understand of LA, it's the city that never sleeps. You know what I'm saying? So I wanna assume there's like hella parties that you could be going to. You know what I'm saying? And they don't all got to be famous. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's content creators that you could go to their party. You know what I'm saying? Like, Pipe Boy Max be having parties, like the Phase parties and shit like that. AMP has parties.
Yep.
You know, why can't you go to those parties? What is so specific about the Diddy and Mike Rubin? That's the first thing that came to mind as soon as you heard mainstream YouTube. Like, this is crazy. That is crazy. I don't know why that's crazy. That was a Freudian slip, nigga.
I think personally, you could have been way different, but that's just my opinion. Because I know people that support you. I know certain things behind the scenes. I won't say on camera, but it's like, I just think you could have been huge, bro.
Okay, you keep saying that, but you can't change what happened.
No, I'm not saying that.
So why do you keep saying that?
Because we both know you could have stopped it.
Okay, so what is the point of saying this now?
So that everyone can see watching here, they have a choice to make. Either you can tell the truth at a cost, or make content and
You realize I'm still making the content that I was making during my like creative era. I just made a documentary in Bosnia. I think it's some of the best work I've made. You know, and that's something I maybe wouldn't have the finances, maybe I wouldn't have the knowledge to make it if I was still on YouTube. Nothing was really taken away. Actually, I would advise people, if you have real convictions and you believe in something, tell it no matter the cost. Say the truth, and having that, like me rejecting the gambling deal that they offered, I take more pride in that. I'm more happy with myself and my soul than having the $20 million. What are you really going to do with that extra money? You can't take it with you when you die. What's more important is that you know you did the right thing and the people around you are proud of you.
He pissing me off because he keeps talking about telling the truth, and I get it. Sure, you want to have the integrity and conviction of what you believe in, but who are you telling the truth to? Your audience are people who don't give a fuck about that. Keep talking about like telling the truth. And telling truth, like standing on principle and stuff like that. But who are you telling it to? The people who you feel like need to hear it the most, you can't reach them because you fucking banned, nigga. They don't give a fuck. And they don't like you, and they're not gonna tune in either way because you just been so inflammatory to them for like 4 years straight.
Yeah.
Nigga, you just preach it to an audience that already come to listen to you for shit that you trying to project that they don't care about. Even the audience that you talk to don't care. They don't come to you for that. They come to you because you're
entertaining.
You're a good videographer and you're entertaining. Nigga.
Where Sneako's being disingenuous is like, Fresh is saying like, hey, you didn't have to do all these things. You didn't have to be this extreme. And the truth is that he did not have to be this extreme, and he could have been way bigger. Like, yes, I understand wanting to tell the truth, but there's always a time and a place. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because it's really not about what you say. It's about the way that you say it. And the way that you say it is not digestible to anybody. And that's the point that Fresh is trying to make, because tell the truth all you want. If nobody's listening to that truth, then who really fucking hears it? Is it even true in the first place? You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, like, the things that he's saying is the truth is, for the most part, just his opinion. You know what I'm saying? If you say something, there's always consequences for those words. Whether it just be, you know what I'm saying, you get into an argument or somebody punches you. You can't control what other people react to what you say. And it's the same thing with these platforms. Like, if you say something and you know it's inflammatory and stuff like that, they're going to have a reaction, especially when a lot of people are mass reporting you and saying like, hey, I don't like this content being on this platform. And advertisers are coming and saying, hey, I don't like this content on this platform.
I like this this canon art for Fresh. I think it's very interesting. It's actually making the Fresh and Fit platform more interesting to engage it, because right now it was just a one-man show with supporting cast. But now that there's actual, like, this is how it should have been in the first place, in my opinion. There should have been more pushback against Myra's points. Yeah. You know what I mean? That would have made it much more engaging, because imagine if he was doing this with the guests, with the special guests, with the women, and he had someone consistently like, okay, you're saying this ideology, but I feel like it should be this way, or this back and forth. That would have been more engaging to watch than two guys jumping on girls who just had no idea what's going on. They don't give a fuck. They're just trying to sell coochie, nigga. Yeah. They're not thinking about this. And you're not engaging with the average woman. Like, you're not engaging with someone who doesn't do these things, who's not looking for financial come up and something like that. You know what I mean? It seemed like he had enough of all of the bullshit surrounding the Red Pill content, especially the Fresh Fit platform. And hopefully this is not just a one-off. Hopefully this continues for the sake of the platform itself. Hopefully Myra don't fucking crash out and ruin it, because this makes the platform more interesting. He's right. I agree with Fresh. Pushing back against Sneako, pushing back against Myron. It seemed like the production team is also against Myron as well. They're like, bro, like, something got to give. Like, you fucking up everything.
Because the niggas ain't getting paid.
They're not getting paid. You hear them in the background laughing and agreeing with Fresh. They're like, bro, y'all niggas are tripping. Yeah. Y'all are tripping. You know what I'm saying? Fuck all this modern shit. Like, you shouldn't, like, the way Sneako talks about it, he talks about, like, some people should be martyrs for the truth. But he's saying, like, necessarily, like, there's necessarily some people should do this. Nobody got to do a damn thing.
Nobody got to do a damn thing. Yep.
No one has to do a damn thing. And that's what Fresh is saying. Like, you should give people the choice, give them the warning. And I like this as well, because Fresh is using Sneako as an example, a real life example of the consequences of your actions. And I think he's also speaking indirectly to Myron too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He's like, look at this nigga. Like, look at this nigga. Like, he could have been way bigger. Yep. But y'all letting ideology fill y'all head instead of being what's practical and pragmatic. Because if you're trying to take care of other people, you just ruin their livelihood by crashing out.
Yep. And the thing is, like, I like what Fresh is saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Giving people the choice and the options like that to do it and to know what the consequences of their actions are. And the thing is, like, he knows that it could be done without being as inflammatory and still growing. Because as you said, there's a space of a lot of medical professionals getting in and doing exactly what they were doing, but in a more professional setting. And also, it would have been a whole lot more interesting if they had people that actually push back against it, because you know what I'm saying, just getting 5-6 guys that come on and agree about the same thing, there's no diversity of opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like that that's like if I came on and I was like, oh well, you know, I think women just need to stay in the kitchen. You were like, oh yeah, well I think women need to stay in the kitchen too. And another guy comes and is like, yeah, I think women need to stay in the kitchen too. Like where's the nigga? We all have the same opinion. There's no content. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing to really engage in. But if I'm like, hey, I think women should stay in the kitchen, another guy's like, well, you know, I think women should probably you know what I'm saying, work and stuff like that. And you're like, oh, well, you know what I'm saying, I think women should have a choice to be able to work or to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, then we can actually have like an actual debate and stuff like that and talk about like, why do you feel this way? Why is your opinion like this? Where do we compromise at? Where do we stand firm at? You know what I'm saying? Like that would be way more interesting than just watching 6 niggas agree and circle jerk and dunk on women that, you know what I'm saying, that honestly you invited them, you know what I'm saying? You know they're clout chasers and strippers and stuff like that. Nigga, you can't take a stripper's opinion as the average woman's opinion. Like, come on.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like this, that doesn't even make sense. You bottle girls and shit like that. That's not the average person's opinion. Like, what are you even talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the bottle girl has the same opinion as Shirley in HR, nigga? No. No. What the fuck are we even talking about? Like, that's...
Right.
It doesn't make sense. And the thing is, like, there's women that also, like... The thing is, like, they get on people on the other side for doing this shit, too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like The View, for example. People hate The View because it's just a whole bunch of women that just agree with each other. They never have any pushback. And the thing is, like, we look at it and we see it's dumbass opinions. They're all agreeing with this dumbass opinion. But because they're all agreeing in that little small circle and stuff like that and not having any differing opinion, they just all go ahead and take it as truth and keep on walking around the world with that dumbass opinion.